Hello flower friends, and welcome to this mini demonstration. And today I've got quite an unusual vase. I like to think it's sort of a little bit shaped like a lobster claw, and it's got a beautiful sort of quite a flat vase, and it's slightly twisted, but it's got this beautiful shaped cut out just in the top there. And again, I'm going along with the sort of foam free designs at the moment, and so I've got this lovely, it's actually a fiberglass vase, and into it I'm going to use some bark off the eucalyptus tree. So, I've got a friend who has, or he used to have a eucalyptus tree in the grounds of his house, and he has recently had it pollarded. But we used to get this beautiful twisted, almost like huge sort of cinnamon sticks of the bark that used to peel off the trees there. So I thought it would be good to use this as my mechanics, but also as a lovely feature in the design as well. So I've already got the water into the vase, so I'm just then going to place the eucalyptus bark in there. It will move about a bit until we've got a good few pieces in, and then we can sort of start to wedge them together a little bit. So just getting those coming in. So I've just got a few pieces just coming straight up, and then this lovely big piece here that I think I'm just going to split that into two, and it's a nice one with the just quite flat piece on there. And again, we'll just bend that up and wedge that into the vase there. And then what I want to do is use the pieces I've got in there as the base and just weave the bark coming across. Stay in. As I say, once you get more pieces in there, they're sort of more secure, it will come, and then I can spike a piece through the top there. It always works perfectly off camera, and then as soon as you get the video going, it all goes to pieces. And I think we can get that through there, like so. I think that will probably work quite well. And so I'll just turn that round to show you. So I've just created a little bit of framework and structure so that I can then pop my flowers in, and it is going to hold them very nicely in place for me. So I don't think I need, it's very tempting when you've got all these pieces to get them all in there and use them up, but sometimes, it does look quite nice there. Sometimes if in doubt, they say leave it out, but I think I might just wedge that piece in as well. Just gives me, yeah, that's perfect. So I've got that piece sort of coming in looped. Okay. So it's giving me some interesting sort of nice crossing lines there. And as I say, we'll be able to use this framework to hold the flowers in place. Flower wise, I've got some gorgeous orange alstroemeria here, so just bring that up to the camera. I am going to take the leaves off the stems because it'll just give it a little bit more of a cleaner look, and then we can thread the stems through the bark, and that holds them quite firmly in place. So first one going in like so. I'm doing this a front facing design. I think it's quite a flat container, so it does look good coming up against with a background with a wall there. And so another piece, again just taking the leaves off. Quite often it's the way that the flowers are packaged and they're transported. Quite often the flowers are wrapped up tightly in paper, and the leaves get sort of damaged. So the leaves are quite soft on the alstroemeria, so it does damage quite easily. So even if I don't need the leaves off, I tend to take them off because they do damage easily. So, but these are gorgeous, aren't they? This beautiful orange colour. And so again, another one there, just cleaning the leaves off, and we'll decide whereabouts that's going to go in. I think I want to come out on this side here just a little bit more. I'm hoping that piece of eucalyptus bark will just hold that one in place for me there. And what I wanted to show you really was you don't need to use an awful lot of flour to create a design that has a lot of impact. It's just with the let's move this in slightly, and with the eucalyptus bark, that's giving me a really good structure, a good outline to start with all those beautiful crossing lines. And then, because the alstroemeria are quite open, they're sort of quite a bold sort of flower really, so they work well against the lines of the eucalyptus bark. And so again, cleaning those off, and I think just bring that one in just a little lower onto this side, and again threading that through, following the line of the first one there, and sometimes just turn them a little, like so. Now, when you're doing a flat vase like this, it's very easy to create a very two-dimensional design. So what I like to do is use at least one of your flowers, one of your bolder flowers, and just angle it out towards the back of the design, just so that it gives a little bit of depth. It just takes your eye through the arrangement and just stops it looking quite so flat, just gives it that sort of third dimension there. So little one sort of coming out, just leaning backwards slightly there, and then at the base, okay, it's looking quite good high up here with the lovely twigs and things, the curled bark and the flowers there, but it's sort of quite ugly in the centre here where just all the stems are coming down into each other. So what I thought would be quite nice is just to use a little bit of garden foliage, and I've got a little bit of the Cuba, the spotted laurel. I've got a couple of pieces of that. So I think, and again, I don't need a lot of it, but I just want a little bit just to come in low down at the base there. So just draws your eye away from those sort of crossing stems at the bottom. And I think actually one piece is just going to work beautifully coming through there. So just bringing that in down at the base there. That looks quite lovely, and so just draws your eye down in the design. And then just to finish off and give it a little bit more impact in that focal area, I'm tangled up with my asparagus fern here, and I've just got a couple of beautiful spider gerbera. So just look at that. Again, this sort of really narrow, sort of spiky petals on there gives it a beautiful texture. And again, so I'm just going to bring a couple of those in, coming down, just to give me that little bit more oomph in the focal area of my design. So just a couple coming in. And I know in flower arranging we talk about using plant material in odd numbers, so working in sort of 3s and 5s, but sometimes it's just good to break those rules a little bit, and I think I'm just going to have 2 of the gerbera just coming in towards the base there, just to give me that final little bit of impact. And so I'm just going to walk round now and just check from a distance that that looks quite good. I'm just now thinking, oh, perhaps do I need another one just at the base there. So even though I've just told you to use 2, I am going to stick with convention and add a 3rd gerbera in there. It's just a little bit higher up, I think. So, yeah, and I think that just is the finishing touch. So it just goes to show that sometimes the classic rules are the ones to stick to. And so there we are, my design for you, using no foam, just using the pieces of eucalyptus bark wedged into the vase, and then they are supporting and holding in place all my other flowers there.